Daf Hashavua Megillah in Megillah. We're going to start at the bottom of the Zayin Amud Beis. I hope everyone's enjoying their vacation, and shkoach for tuning into the daf, which never ends. Torah never ends, even on vacation. And the Gemara says on the bottom of the Zayin Amud Beis, Amar Rabba Amar Rav Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta, Gadol Talmud Torah Yosem Kibbut Aveim. Talmud Torah is more important than Kibbut Aveim. Shekol Osun Shanim Shal Yaakov Avinu Bebeis Eiver, that all the years that Yaakov Avinu was in that learning in the Beis Medrash of Eiver, when he was running away and he was on his way to Lavan, Lo Nenash, he did not get punished. The Amar Mar, now we move on to Yud Zayin Amud Aleph. The Amar Mar, because we learned Lama Nimnu Shnosav Shel Yishmael. Why does the Torah, says Rashi, Ma Lanu Limno Shnos HaRishayim? Why do we mention the years of Rishayim? Why does the Torah mention the years of Yishmael, how long he lived and all that? Kidei liyachis bem shnosav shel Yaakov, in order to figure out the years of Yaakov through the years of Yishmael. And the Gemara is now going to explain. Tichsiv, like it says in the pasuk, ve'ela shnei chai Yishmael, and these are the years of Yishmael, ma'ash shana, shloshim shana, v'shava shanim. Yishmael lived 137 years. Kama koshesh Yishmael mi Yitzchak, how much older was Yishmael than Yitzchak? Arbeis Ashnin, he was 14 years older. Dichsiv, like it's written in the pasuk of Avram ben Shmonim Shana, V'shei Shanim, Avram was 86 years old. Beledes Hagar es Yishmael, when Hagar gave birth to Yishmael. L'Avram to Avram uksiv, and it says in the pasuk, V'Avram ben Ma'ash Shana, Avram was 100 years old, Beholu Loas Yitzchak, when he gave birth to Yitzchak Beno, his son. Uksiv, and it's written, V'Yitzchak ben Shishim Shana. So let's do the math a little bit. So Yaakov Avinu was 86 when he gave birth, when he had Yishmael, and he was 100 when he had Yitzchak. So there was a 14-year gap between Yishmael and Yitzchak. Yitzchak ben Shishim Shanim Beledes Osam, and Yitzchak was 60 years old when he had Yaakov. Bar Kama Hava Yishmael Kedis Yod Yaakov. So how old was Yishmael when Yaakov was born? Well, if Yitzchak was 60, so then Yishmael was Bar Shivim Varba. Yishmael was 74 years old. Simple math. Kama Paish Mishnei. How many years were left of Yishmael's life? If he lived 137 years and he was 74 at that time when Yaakov was born, Shisin Utlas, 63 years from the time that Yaakov was born until Yishmael died. Because Yishmael was 137 when he died, and he was 74 when Yaakov was born. Vitania, we learned in Brisa, Yaakov Avinu, B'shoshan Isparach Me'aviv, at the time when Yaakov Avinu was benched, he was blessed by his father Yitzchak when he got the brachos, when he took them from Esav. Ben Shishim V'shalosh Shana, he was 63 years old. Well, wait a minute. If he was 63 years old when he got the brachos, and what? And Yishmael died 63 years after Yaakov was born, so that means Yishmael is going to die around this time, and the Gemara is going to work this out right now. Ubo Baperek Meis Yishmael, and at that time Yishmael died. Dichsiv, like it says in the pasuk, Vayar Esav Ki Beirach Yitzchak es Yaakov. Esav saw that Yitzchak blessed Yaakov. Vayelech Esav el Yishmael. He went to the house of Yishmael. He traveled. Vayikach es Machlas bas Yishmael, and he married. He took as a wife Machlas, the daughter of Yishmael, Achos Nevoyos, the sister of Nevoyos, who was Yishmael's son. So it says for Esther Gemara, Mimash Mishanemar bas Yishmael, from the fact that it says, we know from the fact that it says she was the daughter of Yishmael. Ein yodea she achos Nevoyos. Don't we know that it was the sister of Nevoyos? The pasuk already says that Yishmael's son was Nevoyos. If Yishmael's son was Nevoyos, and Yishmael's daughter was Basmas, Machlas, so that means that they were sisters and brothers. Why do you have to say that it was Achos Nevoyos, that she was the sister of Nevoyos? Melamed, says the Gemara, this comes to teach us A lesson, it's coming to teach us that Nevoyos played a part in Machlas getting married. When it says she was the sister of Nevoyos. Shekitchi Yishmael. Yishmael first did usually Kedushin is the first part of marriage, and Nisuin is the second part of marriage. We know that Yishmael and his children and Esav did not get married like in accordance with the Jewish law. So Shekitchi Yishmael, the Mefarshim say, means that there was like some sort of an engagement. He set them up together, and he died in between. They see a Nevoyos Achel, and her brother Nevoyos married her off to Esav. So therefore he played a part there. So we see that Yishmael died right then, at the time when Yaakov got the brachos. Beautiful. So says the Gemara, Shisin utlas. So Yaakov was 63, and then that's when after he got the brachos, he ran to Lavan's house. Bar Beisar, and he was there for 14 years. Adam Isyod Yosef, until Yosef was born, like Rashi explains, that Haya Yaakov Beis Lavan Ad Isyod Yosef, until Yosef was born. Tichsiv Avaticha Arba Seishana V'shtei Benosayich. That Yosef said, that Yaakov said to Lavan that he's going to work 14 years for the two daughters of Lavan, for Rachel and Leah. So we see that he was 14 years he was by Lavan until Yosef was born. So what does that make him? If he was 63 when he got to Lavan, and 14 years more, 63 and 14, 77, Oshivin V'Shiva. He was 77 years old at that time. Now he did stay for another 6 years, as we're going to learn soon, but the Gemara doesn't need that piece of information yet. Says the Gemara, Uksiv, and it says, Yosef ben Shloshim Shana Ba'amdo Lefnei Paro. Yosef was 30 years old when he stood in front of Paro. Hameya, so now 30 years later, Yosef was born, Yaakov was 77. 30 years later, Hameya V'Sheva. That should have made Yaakov 107. Shev de Sava. Now add on top of that, after Yosef came to Mitzrayim, there was 7 years of plenty, Shev de Sava, of a lot of food, V'tarti de Kafna, and then there were 2 years of famine. Hameya v'shisser. That would make Yaakov from 107 plus 9 to 116. The problem is, Uksiv Ayomer Paro Yaakov, when Yaakov comes down to Paro, to Mitzrayim, Paro says to Yaakov, Kama yimei shnei chayecha, how old are you? How many years are you alive? How old are you? Yaakov o Paro, and Yaakov says to Paro, Yimei shnei megurai, shloshim hashana, I'm 130 years old. Now if he's 130, he's not 116. And how many years are missing between 130 and 116? So says the Gemara, Shloshim hashana, Meya, so ask the Gemara, Meya v'shisser havin, he was 106, according to our calculations, he was 116. So where did the 14 years, where is that missing? Elishmami, no, must be Arba Esrei Shnin, for 14 years, Hava Bebeis Aver. That Yaakov was on his way, to Lavan's house. Before he got there, he was there for 14 years, and that's the 14 years missing that the Gemara is talking about, and therefore, and the Gemara is now going to speak a little bit more. Now, there's a little bit of a funny girsa here. Our girsa in the Gemara says, "Elishmamina arba esrei shnin ta'ava bebeis aver lo chashavlu." We don't count it. Now that Rashi takes that out, and he says we're going to fit that in later. I guess because we do count it. It's counted. It's just not counted as part of the years that he's going to get an avera for an onish for. So Rashi's girsa will be Elishmamina arba esrei shnin Hava bebeis aver. The Tanya, we learned in a brayso. Here again, the girsa is a little. The Bach puts one girsa, Rashi has a different girsa. I'm just going to read it with our Gemara, which sounds like Rashi goes a little bit more like that, and we'll try to just make it work for now. The Tanya we learned in the Brisa, Yaakov base Aver. Yaakov was learning on his way when he ran after the brachos. When he ran to Lavan on his way, he learned in Beit Mutman. He was hidden away in Beis Aver learning Torah Arba Esrei Shana for 14 years. Aver Mace, Aver died. La'achar sheyered Yaakov Avinu l'Aram Naraim shtei shanim. Yaakov Avinu had already left and gone to Lavan in Aram Naraim. He was already there for 2 years when Aver had died. Meaning he did not. When he left, Aver was alive after 14 years, and Aver died 2 years later. Yatzim Yisham. Yaakov left Aver, ubalo l'Aram Naraim, and he went to Aram Naraim. Nimsid comes out. Kisha'amar ala be'er, when he stood by the be'er, by the well, when he came to Lavan the first time, and he stood by the be'er, ben shivim usheva shana, he was 77 years old. Why? Because since he left, when he got to Brachos, he was 63, and then he went to learn in Beis Aver, in the Beis Medrash of Aver for 14 years. That made him 77. So therefore, now the Gemara is going to show how during those 14 years he didn't get a punishment. Now, just one small thing. The Brisa mentions that Aver died 2 years after Yaakov Avinu came to Lavan. The Marei Naim, which is a Pirush on the Ein Yaakov, asks, everyone asks, it's obvious that why are we putting in that information? For us, we don't really care, and we care, but for our needs right now, it doesn't really matter when Aver died. So he says a very nice point. He says that you shouldn't say that Yaakov Avinu didn't leave Aver until he died, which would mean he was there for 16 years. And that would mean there was 16 years that he shouldn't get punished for. And we find in the calculation that he was only not punished for 14 years. That's a nice idea from the Marei Naim. A very important point. So says Gemara now, and this is why we came here for this Gemara, for this point. And we know the lo ma'anish. And how do we know that he didn't get an onish for those 14 years, which the Gemara on Taf Zayin Amud Beis starts off with? The Tanya, because we learned in a Brisa, Nimtza Yosef Shapirish Me'aviv Esim Ushtayim Shana. It comes out, we find that Yosef left his father Yaakov for how many years? For 22 years. And that was Mida Keneged Mida. Hashem made sure that he left for 22 years, that Yaakov had the pain of not having his son. Kishem Shapirish Yaakov Avinu Me'aviv. Just like Yaakov Avinu left his father Yitzchak when he ran away to Lavan, he also left for 22 years. So now the Gemara has a question. Wait a second. The Yaakov tlas v'shisa avin. If you make the calculation, really, Yaakov was gone for 36 years. Why was he gone for 36 years? So let's do the calculation. He was gone. He was there by Lavan. He ran away to Lavan for 14 years till Yosef was born. Then we're going to see that and then he worked for another 6 years after Yosef was born for the flock, for the tzon. And that's 20 years. And we're going to see soon that on his way back, it took him 2 years to get back to his father after he left Lavan's house. That's 22 years. But he had 14 years in the Beis Medrash of Aver. So that makes it that 22 and 14 is 36. So ask the Gemara. The Yaakov tlas v'shisa avin. Yaakov there was 36 years that he was away from Yitzchak. So he should have gotten punished for 36 years that Yosef should have been away. Ella, says the Gemara. Ella, shmamina, the Bach sticks in. Our beis adav bebeis aver, lo chashav lahu. We don't count the 14 years that he was bebeis aver. The truth is that I said before, lo chashav lahu, I said because we do count it. It's the same lo chashav lahu here. But I guess Rashi earlier doesn't have the gersa, that it's not until the end when we say lo chashav lahu. That's when Rashi says we have the gersa of lo chashav lahu. So ask the Gemara. Sof. Now the Gemara is going to ask what happened to those 2 years. Why are you saying there was 22 years? He was by Lavan for 20 years. Sof, the Beis Lavan, Esrim Shnin. Yaakov was only in Beis Lavan for 20 years, Avin, he was. Elam says the Gemara, Mishum dishtoi bu'urcha tarti shnin. Like I said before, on his way back to Yitzchak, it took him 2 years to get back to Yitzchak. The Tanya, like it says in the Brisa, Yotze me'aram naraim. He left Aram Naraim, ubalo l'Sukkos, and he came to Sukkos, va'asa sham shmona asar chodesh, and he was there for 18 months. How do we know he was in Sukkos for 18 months? Sukkos was a place on his way back to Yitzchak. Shenemar, like it says in the pasuk, v'Yaakov nasa Sukkosa, and Yaakov traveled to Sukkos, to the place Sukkos. Vayivan lo bayis, he built a house for himself. Ulu mikneu, and for his cattle. And asa Sukkos, he made huts. And the Rashi explains that it means that we learn out by even lo bayis, he built a house. When does a person need a house for sure? In the winter. So there was 6 months of the winter. Ulumikneu asa Sukkos, and for his flock he made Sukkos. Sukkos is plural, and we learn out, says Rashi, that asa Sukkos beis pa'amim, 2 times. Shnei mosakayitz. There were 2 summers. So you had a summer, a winter, and a summer. There were 18 months. Ube beis kel asa shisha chadashim. He was in beis kel for 6